Gotta clear my throat a little bit. I've been fighting some allergies or a cold. I'm not sure what it is, but good morning. Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. This is a solo episode. A lot has been happening in a lot of our lives. A lot of change, a lot of old coming to new, a lot of refurbished, a lot of recycled. And I want to remind everybody in this episode today that no choice is the wrong choice. If it's right for you in the moment, then it's right for you. You know, it's really, really easy. I talk to my friends about this all the time. It's very easy to stand on the outside and tell somebody what the right decision is when it pertains to a problem that somebody else is dealing with, right? But we have to remember that everybody has their own little journey, their own little quest, to embark on. Everybody has that. And I want to use this analogy. Imagine playing a board game for the first time and you're trying to figure it out. Some people get really, really into new board games. So like they read the directions from cover to cover. They place everything perfectly because they want to know what it's like to play the game, right? Playing the game perfectly. What if somebody that was experienced in that game just comes and, sets everything up really quick, kind of disturbs the whole process, the whole ritual of setting up the board game. And, they play the game for you. They play for themselves and they play for you. And they finish the game and they're like, okay, there's the game. That's it. Goodbye. Imagine how annoying that would be. I've had people that wanted to solve my problems for me. And sometimes we do. Sometimes we take every single piece of advice somebody gives to us if it sounds good. Sometimes we don't. I actually have never heard of somebody that took advice from somebody else. Unless it was like, actually no. Most of the time we don't really take other people's advice. We take our own advice in the moment. And that can vary, right? But I want to stress that when I say that there's no wrong decisions, I mean that it all kind of loops back to it's going to be okay. Even if it was a bad decision in the moment, it didn't seem like a bad decision in the moment to you. And then you figured out it was a bad decision, and then you made another decision to counter that decision, and then you arrived to the place where you are now, which is hopefully a good place, right? You run into some troubles along the way, and then you solve the problem. The whole point of this little game we call life, yes, I said that in a cliche manner. In this little game that we call life, we are playing not to win, but to explore. Some people perceive winning as different things. Some people perceive winning as, $1 million, a home, a family, kids, a dog, maybe a cat, a parrot. That's winning to them, right? They're not thinking about anything beyond that. That is winning for them, right? Other people in later stages of life, winning is watching their children go to college and graduate and get good jobs. Later in that life, winning to them is not dying of a terrible disease and just getting to peacefully grow old with the ones that we love. Winning is going to be different for each of us in different phases of our life. Winning for me when I was 18 was having a boyfriend. That was winning for me. In my mind, there was like, I wasn't thinking beyond that because, if somebody was like, well, do you want to get married? It'd be like, my favorite color is turtle. because I wasn't really sure. I mean, it's really easy to answer. Be like, oh, yeah, as a fucking 18-year-old, just be like, yeah, I want to have a boyfriend. I want to get married. I want to have kids. You don't really know what that means. I was still a virgin at 18, but, I didn't really know what any of that meant. I just knew that winning to me was having a boyfriend and having a successful social life with said boyfriend and my friends and my family and, because I remember growing up always being asked like, oh, where's your boyfriend? Where's your boyfriend? Where's your boyfriend? And I don't blame my family. I don't think that they're bad. I think that they just, I guess it's considered the norm to have a significant other at some point in your life as an adult, be it boyfriend or girlfriend, right? So to me at 18, that was winning. At 21, it was graduating art school. That would have been winning to me. And then at 23, it would have been graduating from the police academy. That would have been winning to me. So winning for me, and I look back and I look at all these different phases in my life because now I'm 27. So I'm looking at all these different phases in my life where winning meant different things to me. Success meant different things to me. If somebody were to ask me, okay, Nadia, what is success to you today? I would literally just simply say, winning to me today is healthy and happy. Just being healthy and happy. Not having a tummy ache, not having a headache. Just drinking enough water throughout the day, exercising, just being happy. And that's very general. I had somebody told me, an old friend came back into my life the other day, and he said, happiness is relative, Nadia. And I'm all like, yeah, I mean, I get, you're not wrong, I guess. I mean, but, happiness is different for different people. And I told him, I said, well, pigs are happy and shit. I'm happy taking a bath and exfoliating. Because it's true. That is what makes me happy. Maybe in that moment. In another moment, it's getting a facial. In another moment beyond that, it's spending fucking $1,200 on prints for my art show in August. So, what I'm trying to tell you is that you don't have to rush. What's going to make you happy today may not make you happy for tomorrow. Or may not make you happy tomorrow. Sorry, losing my grammar button. But it's important to realize that you can give yourself a fucking break. If what made you happy yesterday doesn't make you happy today, then don't do it. It's and it sounds overly simplified. And it may not pertain to every situation. Right? Not right away. Some people like to plan out, changing the path of their lives. And you can. Or you can be dramatic and just change it all together the next day. It's up to you. Nothing's stopping you, as long as it's not illegal, right? But what I mean to say is that it's okay to change what you want to do with your life. It's all right. Because you know what? Just like happiness, success is measured differently from person to person. And I know that in all time throughout history, people have always compared the cliche version of success, the success that they hold, compared to the success that others hold, right? Some people are just like, if you don't have a 9-to-5 job, and you're not making over $100K a year, and you don't have a house with a mortgage, you're not successful. If you didn't graduate from college, you are not successful. And that is true to that person. To that person, that is very true. There are people listening to this podcast that are probably shaking their head and being like, yeah, that's true. I mean, if you don't have any of those things, then you're not successful to me. You're not stable to me. You're not XYZ to me. And that's okay. I can't sit here and tell them that they're wrong because that is the truth as it pertains to them. Success to me is not having to worry about bills, not having to worry about my family, not having to worry about the health of my dogs or the health of my niece. It's success is very specific for me in terms of just health and happiness. It's not having that is what success means to me, right? And yeah, money goes along with that. Do you need a degree to be wealthy? No, there's plenty of people that don't have a degree that are wealthy. My mom worked for a man for 20 years, 15, 20 years, and he didn't even have his college degree. But he created something and he sold it. And he wasn't even an engineer, but an engineering school actually gave him a degree. I'm not sure how that worked. He didn't go to school, but they gave him an honorary degree because he donated to the college. I don't know how legal that is, but, it is what it is. But you don't need a degree to be successful, monetarily. Do you need a 9 to 5 to be monetarily? No. You can look at people that are trading stocks. They're traders. They might not work 9 to 5. They might work 12, 16 hours. They might work less because they're very lucky. Professional gamblers. I mean, it's not the most concrete level of success, right? There's more stable forms of success when it comes to making money. But when it comes to that, there's different ways to make money than working a 9 to 5. Now, 9 to 5 can be very consistent, very safe, right? So therefore, people attribute that to success, right? You're getting a paycheck every 2 weeks, right? You're getting paid 3 times a month. So you're consistently getting paid. 9 to 5 equals success. Success to each person, kind of getting back on track, success to each person is going to be different. It is going to be perceived differently by each individual. It's going to be achieved differently by each individual. Is there a norm? Is there a median? Yes, there is a norm and there is a median. But it's not going to be the same for every single person out there. It's okay to not follow that same path. It's also okay to follow that same path if that is what seems right for you. So as these new experiences are coming to you, as this new information is being released to you, and I mean that in a very simple way, information, new people coming into your life, new situations coming into your life, it's an opportunity. That's what I mean to say. It's an opportunity. It's an opportunity for you to make a different choice if you want to make a different choice. Or it's the opportunity for you to try something different. If you have never done something, or you've always done something a certain way, and an opportunity is presenting for you to change the way you do that one thing, take that opportunity. Fuck it. Fuck it. It is your life to command and change and mold as you please. Again, as long as you're not breaking the law. Always have to say that. And just fucking enjoy life. Enjoy your life. We are going to get heartbroken. We are going to get rejected. At one point in our life, unfortunately, we are going to be shamed for things that are out of our control. At some point in our life, unfortunately, again, we're going to be brought down to our knees. But there's where we get the chance to rebuild. We have choices in this life. We can choose when we're beaten down or when we're in a situation to resent, to blame. And, it's a very appealing option because it kind of shifts some of the pressure off of your chest. It does. When you're feeling hurt, when you're feeling beat down, and you have the chance to blame and resent and take that weight off of yourself, take that responsibility off of yourself, it kind of relieves the pressure of the pain that you're feeling, the emotional pain that you're feeling. And some people need to do that. If you feel like you need to do that, then you got to do what you got to do. But I'm telling you, it's better for you in the long run to just swallow that really hard to swallow pill of, quote, I made these decisions. I am here where I am today. I accept my responsibility. I choose to do things differently from this way on out. Unquote. That is what's on the pill bottle of hard to swallow pills. And that is okay. That's okay too. It's all okay. It's going to be okay. And I know it sounds like I'm kind of talking in circles, but it really is going to be okay. There's a lot of cynical people out there, that will find a problem with everything. If you say, "Oh yeah, I want to be a wife. I want to have a husband and a family." Yeah, well, that's a fairy tale. That's bullshit. Love isn't real. Oh yeah, well, I guess you're right. Well, maybe I just want to, just live my life and be single. Ah, well, yeah, that just means you're bitter. That means that you just can't hold on to relationships. That's something that you need to solve because this is, So when I say that, I mean, you're not going to make people happy with your own choices. Sometimes there are people in our lives who we will never be able to make happy. For one reason or another. It could be a parent, it could be a love interest, it could be friends, it could be family, it could be anybody that we're trying to present our opinions to for acceptance. And sometimes they will battle you just like that. No matter what you say, they have a different opinion. There's something wrong with everything that you're choosing. And my advice to you when you come into contact with those people, just be like, oh, okay, that's interesting. All right. Just agree. There's no reason to fight in this world. I promise you. Verbally anyways. I mean, if somebody disagrees with you, they're going to disagree with you. Just be like, all right, well, here's my argument of why I feel this way. And then you clearly don't feel this way. So that's all right too. Yeah, that's it. Well, I think it's blah, blah. You're like, okay. Well, anyways, have a good day. Drama stops right there. It stops at the door. It's very, very, very easy, folks. Ladies and gentlemen. It's very, very easy to just let shit go. You decide, you know what? This isn't working for me. I don't want to argue today. And then you don't. I don't want to feel this way today. So you don't. I don't want to do this today. So you don't. It's very, very, very simple, folks. Very simple. And I'm here to remind you, on top of the fact that I think that safe sex should always happen. Always wear a condom, guys. Always wear a condom unless you want to have a kid or an STD. Wear a condom. On top of me promoting condom usage, I will always encourage you to do what makes you happy, as long as it's not illegal. And don't make excuses for it. Why do you want to do this? Because it makes me happy. Why does it make you happy? Because it does. This is a moment that I'm in. Well, yeah, what about this? I don't know. What about that? I don't know. What about I don't know? I'm not thinking that far. Sometimes you really don't need to think that far. Because at the end of the day, no matter what decision you make, you're going to have to hold consequence for everything that you make, every decision that you make, good or bad. You're going to have to hold consequence for that, good and bad. You, personally, in one way or another. It might not be a public responsibility taking. It might be more personal. You know, some people always complain about, oh, well, I don't see, I saw this fucking meme. On the IG. Where it was just like me waiting for somebody to experience karma, yet this motherfucker has a house and a new car and blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, cool, you have no idea what that person's going through. Personally, you have no idea what their finances are like, what their relationships are like. You don't know when you're sitting around waiting for karma to get some people, right? Sometimes you're not going to have a public execution of karma. All right? You're lucky if you do, truth be told. You're very lucky if you actually end up getting a front row seat to a public execution of karma and you find out, right? Everybody experiences karma, all right? Everybody has to take responsibility for the decisions they make. And it might not be public to you, but very personal to them. So don't worry about it. They're going to have to, if somebody's done you wrong in this life, if somebody has done you wrong, I promise you, they take responsibility for it in the way that it pertains to them. All right? Maybe somebody else hurts them in the same way they hurt you. Or maybe they experience, other things that it's very personal to them in a way of karmic repayment. We really don't know how true karma is or if it really exists, right? We don't really know anything for sure. The moral of this episode, of this story, of this ramble is to not fucking worry about it. I will quote my very cynical friend. Is there a problem? Yes. Can you solve it? No. Then don't worry about it. On the next line, is there a problem? No. Don't worry about it. It's that simple. Don't worry about it. Things get solved all the time. And they don't get solved magically. We end up solving the problems ourselves. But worrying has never helped us solve anything. All it does is give us a tummy ache and a headache. And raises our blood pressure. Which doesn't seem very productive. I mean, you can't solve a problem if you have a heart attack. So, don't worry about it. It's going to be a beautiful day here for those of you that are in California. If you have a father out there with whom you are celebrating Father's Day with, I know I do. Give him a big hug and let him know that you love him and that you appreciate him. He's probably the one that cut your umbilical cord when you were born. Or maybe he was the one that held you when you were adopted. It's different for every person. But tell your father that you love him. Give him a day that shows appreciation for the fact that he loves you. And if you have a mommy doubling down as a daddy, give her extra love. Extra love. Extra, extra. I love all of you guys. I hope you have a wonderful Father's Day with your parents. If you're not celebrating, I hope you give yourself a hell of a day too. Pat yourself on the back. You are daddy as well. I love all of you guys. Have a wonderful day, evening and week. I won't say what Pedro said, to have a medium well week. Have a wonderful week. I'll see you guys next weekend.